Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another vlog. G'day team, welcome to the vlog. I had every intention of starting this yesterday, and then I did an intro clip and then didn't touch it again. So it is now Monday, the 13th, and this vlog is very much dedicated to getting this book done, this next wave of edits done, and off to the proofreader. So I have 60 pages left. I'm hoping to get that done today. So I'll give you an update if that gets done, but I've got a very busy day ahead of me. So I'd like to get the 60 pages done. I also want to film a wrap-up for September because I haven't done that yet. If I have time, I will write my Book of the Month review and also film that. I need to mow, I need to clean the shower. I would like to read at some point this century, but I'm also prepping for the next Genre Blender video, which means that, oh no, I have to play video games so that I can get some gameplay footage for that. I've just spent an hour doing that to try and get a little bit done, but it's currently 8:06. I need to go and make breakfast and then sit down and get these 60 pages done. I am going to guess it's going to take about 4 hours today. But I am reading a little bit. I have not read very much at all over the past probably 3 to 4 weeks while I've been doing this edit. My time has been very much focused on getting alpha ready because we are nearly at a month to have this book, at least the ebook, out into the world. I think I'm going to release the paperbacks just like when they're ready, but the ebook files have to be uploaded by the 17th of November. So we're cutting it pretty fine. So I need to get that done today. And then once that's done, and tomorrow I'll be going through any comments that I've left just to make sure that I have addressed them for the next wave of edits. And then I will be doing an ARC interest form hopefully on Saturday to be released on Saturday night, and then ARCs can go out hopefully the following week. So the very start of, or the last week of October, I'd like to get those ARCs out so that people have like 3 weeks or so to read it, but that will be an unproofed copy. Anyway, lots of things happening. What am I reading? Like I said, very little. I'm still going on Exodus by Peter F. Hamilton. If I do nothing else over the next 10 days or so of this vlog, I would really like to finish this thing. I'm currently at 45% of the way through. I have complicated emotions about this book thus far. I'm quite enjoying the storylines, or at least a couple of them. One of the characters is shitting me, and unfortunately he is the main focal point. That is nothing new for me. Some of the world building aspects are really cool. I think, again, because I'm reading such a big book so slowly, it's taking away my enjoyment. So once my pages are done and I've got little bits and bobs ready for the editor, between whenever that finishes, it might be tomorrow night, it might be Wednesday night, and Saturday, my only focus is really going to be sinking my teeth into this and reading it, because I would love to have this done before the end of the vlog. We'll see how that happens. And I'm listening to this one, so I couldn't get the one that I wanted to read on audio, which was At Dark I Become Loathsome, but they did have this one in the library app. So this is Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. Not my favorite by far. I don't know whether I'm just having like a really cranky reading month because I'm so focused on my own book right now. Just full of metaphors and similes, which is taking me out of the immersion quite a lot. I don't mind metaphors and similes. In fact, I think they can be quite poetic, but it's every fucking sentence, and it's just taking me out of it. It's fine. It's a bit more disjointed. I believe this is the first novel that LaRocca wrote, but after like the short story collections, which I've loved and adored, and it's clocks in at about 200 pages. So it's very, very short novel, if not bordering novella. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, I'll finish this one tomorrow because I'm listening to it, and I've got about an hour and 20 minutes left, and I have to commute tomorrow, so that will be that. Once that's finished, I think I'm going to pick up The Rule of Extinction by Jeff Jones, and that is because I can get it on audio. So I have the only other reading outside of Exodus that I've done has been on audio this month. So if I can finish Exodus, I might be able to pick something up physically. We'll see. That is it for the update. I'm going to go and make breakfast and then get cracking on the pages and check in with you when they're done. So my prediction is they'll be done by about 1 o'clock today, at which point I will break and go and do the lawn and the shower cleaning, and then hopefully get some videos done before I need to call my parents at 4 p.m. and also cook dinner because the recipe that I want to do is going to take 3 hours. Anyway, let's get cracking. Edits are done, copyright page is done, shower's done, yard's done. It is close to 12 o'clock. So we did that in pretty good time, except I forgot I have to call a plumber because I can't do much more than go into the bathroom and go, that ain't right. So, gotta find a plumber to deal with that whole situation. But right now I am hungry and I'm gonna try and put the dinner in the slow cooker for Rachel because I don't want to stand over a stove for 3 hours. So we're gonna give that a go. But success today has been productive. Haven't done any video stuff yet, but that'll come after food. Okay, bye. Hello everyone, it is Tuesday the 14th evening. I finished Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. The lighting in here is awful, but it's 9 p.m. and I'm about to go to bed. So this one to finish off, I don't think I really gave much away about the story at all. We are following two, I would argue, main POVs. One is Ghost and a story with a gentleman named Crowley. The idea behind Crowley is built up through other characters, but they're only in there for like a chapter or two where you get this like very creepy sense of this older gentleman who is set up to be preying on older women, but then comes across this character named Ghost, who we get an understanding of is a little bit of an outcast. He has a spirit on his shoulder, which I initially took as like depression or anxiety, being the darkness and the intrusive thoughts that this spirit was giving him, and I don't know if that's where he ended up, but that's how I interpreted it initially. And we're also following a queer couple. Malik is probably the main character here, and his husband, I want to say Brett, I kept mixing it with like Brent, I think it was Brett, during the story, and there's a hell of a lot of trauma that goes on within that relationship. Now, I said that I was probably gonna do like a 3-star for this one, and I'm pretty much situated in a 3-star. I like the way that LaRocca writes. I appreciate that they do not shy away from really horrific shit, particularly that the queer community has faced. So, as always, check your trigger warnings with a LaRocca book. We are dealing with quite violent gay bashing and sexual assault in this one for the Malik and Brett storyline. And then we are also dealing with like past trauma with the Ghost storyline. I found that a lot of the similes and the metaphors, because it was so overdone in my opinion in this, really took me out of the flow and the rhythm of the story. And I think that was the opposite of the intended effect, where every like second line had a simile or a metaphor in it. It was really meant to enhance the imagery and the way that we as humans connect and pull from it, but it didn't work for me quite that way. So again, LaRocca is a very beautiful writer, but this one missed the mark a little bit for me. Not bad by any means, I just probably won't pick it up again, potentially. Or if I do, it'll be physically to see if I get anything else out of it. The storylines themselves were like fine. I think it's less about the overarching plot of it and more about the characters and what they were going through, or at least that's what I took from it anyway. But I finished that. I don't have an audiobook now, or I'm not a planned audiobook for the rest of the month. I was going to get Rules of Extinction by Jeff Jones, but it's on Audible, it's $15, and I'm trying not to support Audible if there's any other avenue to get this book on, and Apple Books does have it for double the price, and I just can't justify it right now. So I'm going to have a bit of a squiz on the library apps. So I have Libby and also BorrowBox from like the Brisbane library, which I still have, to see if there's any like horror that I can get into. I'm hoping for a female author, because I've got a few male authors already in the month, so we'll see how we go there. I am still reading Exodus. I have read another 3% since the last time that we spoke, but my book, I didn't do anything on it this evening, so we'll try again tomorrow. If I can get that done, then I'll dedicate some time to really smashing out Exodus, but I'm also like getting some content for a different genre blender video, so I was doing that this evening instead. I'll let you know whatever I pick up, because I do have some commuting to do for the rest of the week, so I will get some audiobook time in. But until then, it is 9 p.m. and I'm pathetic at night, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good morning, team. It is like 5:45 on Friday the 17th. I have not done an update in a couple of days. I ended up picking up The Haunting of Hill House, so that is the book update. I am really enjoying it so far. I'm about 25% of the way through. I happened to put it on a Libby hold, it wasn't available, and then by the next morning it was available. What is that in my hair? I'm trying this new hair stuff and I don't know. It's crap in my hair. It's also very early in the morning. Yeah, Haunting of Hill House, so far it is just following a main character is Eleanor, I would argue. There are other characters in there like Theodora, and I can't remember the other guy's name, and Dr. Montague. So Dr. Montague puts an ad out in the newspaper for people to come and stay at Hill House with him to document the findings of this property. And Eleanor goes, well, I don't really like my life, so I'm going to go and do that. We haven't really got to the haunting part yet at 20 to 25% in, but we have gotten to the house and it's creepy. So I don't really love haunted house tales, but I do like gothic horror, and the character-driven elements of it are working for me so far. Also, I'm doing it on audio, so things that don't typically work for me physically will work a lot better for me on audio, so it's going okay so far. Still going on Exodus. I think I've read 10 pages of that this entire week thus far, but I did my ARC forms last night, so they'll be going out. They're ready to go out once I check that they're all good tonight, and I'll start doing up some promos. So my writing sprint this weekend, so my friend Mark is on holiday, so I get to do 2 writing sprints with him, one on Sunday, one on Monday, which is my weekend as well. So I'm hoping that I can get a whole bunch of promos done up, because we're nearly a month out from release, and then start doing some promos, send the ARC forms out, and then format in Atticus. So my big goal on my weekend, which is Sunday and Monday, is to format the unproofed copy of my book into Atticus so it can go out to people who want an ARC of it. Yeah, that is it. I also picked up a book called Dampier by Barb and JC Hendy. I have read this one twice before and I really liked it, and I want to read the whole series. It's a 14-book series called The Saga of the Noble Dead, and the first book, I have the first book, it is so beat up. I'll show you in a different clip. Yes, and then I'm going to go get some book mail. I won't open it on here because it's not for me, so it's like a gift. So I just want to make sure it is that before I take it into work and give that gift, because that would be rude to be like, hey, actually not for you. So I'm going to go do that and then wake Rachel up. We have 20 minutes to leave. Normally I'm way better organized in the morning, but today is not it. Check how bloodshot my eyes are. I've not been sleeping. It has been very smoky here. And Perth comes with a side of bushfires, particularly when it starts to get hotter. It's quite cool still, but last night, not last night, the night before, we woke up to smoke in the house. I was like, ah, crap. So I checked all the emergency websites, made sure smoke alarms were okay, closed all the windows, tried to get it out of the house, and we were fine. It was just back burning, which is, thank you for doing that at 2 a.m. in the morning. Anyway, that was a ramble. That is my life update and my book update. See you in the next one. Good afternoon, team. It is 3:30 on the 19th, which is a Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd just check in because I've read more of The Haunting of Hill House. Ignore the dirty bedroom. I'm about 70% of the way in. I'm enjoying this one a lot more than I thought I would. The creepy house stuff is happening now, but I am just... I'm not a fan of haunted houses. I think I said that in the last clip. But I am so fascinated by Eleanor as a character who is this... she's portrayed as this sort of wayfish, highly anxious creature, and Shirley Jackson has done such a good job of portraying anxiety in this human being, and the thought processes that the internal monologue of anxiety that she has, and the experience that she's having in this house is shifting the menace behind these thoughts and these thought patterns, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't know where it's going to go within the next 30%, because like it's already pretty far through the book, and we're only like sort of seeing snippets of house activity and things like that. But I am so intrigued with this character, and I think all the characters really have something to offer. So Theodora is like this spoilt, I mean, she portrays herself as a princess, she's not, but they all like give themselves fake personas, and that is so real to me as the reader. Like, her background is a lot more spoilt than our Eleanor, who is very anxious, had to look after her mother, is in her early 30s, which at that time of the book being written was spinster age, essentially. Then we've got Luke, who is like the heir of the property, who is entitled, but sort of just there for the ride, sort of cheeky. And then you've got the Doctor, who is really just, fascinated by this house and the comings and goings, and approaches it very analytically and like calls them children, and it's I don't know, it's all working for me. And I looked at some reviews, it's only got like 3.98, I don't know, around, it's under 4 anyway, for like over 30,000 reviews, and I'm having a good time. I'm probably going to end up at about a 4, but we'll see. I should finish that one in this vlog. I was going to pick up Damphia, which I have over here, by Barb and JC Hendy. I read like 20 pages of it and then put it down. I don't know. I don't think I'm in a slump, but I don't know. Audio is definitely working better for me at the moment. So I am still making my way through Exodus very slowly. I am about 62 or 63% of the way in. I was hoping to read a bunch this weekend, and I just haven't. But I'm trying not to force it, because that will ruin my experience with it anyway. I'm just doing it very, very slowly. So I'll read like a chapter or two today and a chapter or two tomorrow. It's just such a big book that it's going to take a while. Hello team, it is Monday morning. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. The robot vacuum has just started, and I have sat down to format Alpha in Atticus, which is a formatting program. I think you can write your books in here as well. But yeah, that is the goal for today, is to format this thing. I've watched a bunch of tutorials. Thank you, Mark, for all of your help, as always. Again, the bed is unmade, but that's nothing new. I finished The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson this morning when I was going to the gym. I really, really enjoyed it. The ending didn't really see coming. Eleanor as a character, super fascinated by her. I enjoyed where we went with it. I like the drama of like gothic horror. There's a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue, and it's just dramatic, and I had a wonderful time with it. So I feel like the house itself didn't really like get resolved too much, but I don't mind that. I also finished Hunting Wives last night, which is and it's only one season. It's been renewed for a second season. It's also very dramatic and had a lot of questions at the end of it, and I enjoyed it. Was it the best acting? Was it the best, most engaging story in the world? No, but it was entertaining, so I enjoyed that. But I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I'm still like only 60% of the way through Exodus, and I think I'll finish it this month, but I think that'll be like my only physical read, which means I'm back to audio, and I don't have an audiobook lined up, so I don't know whether to go and like look at a book that I have here that may be available on audio somewhere, because there's a bunch of things that I want to read this month, but a lot of them aren't on audio, or if I just like scroll the library apps and see if something comes up. I know I have the so ironically, Mike Flanagan adapted The Haunting of Hill House, and also a book called Midnight Mass, which I have on audio, so maybe I'm just doing like a Mike Flanagan adaptation, but the novel version of it, I don't know. So I have that, maybe Jaws, but like Ryan wanted to read Jaws with me. I don't know how serious they were about that, but I can check in. I don't know, watch this space, because I've still got 2 days of the vlog to go, so I will pick up an audiobook at some point in that 2 days. But today I am going to finish doing these chapters. The ARC form's gone out. If you want a copy of the ARC form, it'll be in the description box down below. I'll have that open until the 10th of November. Book release is on the 20th of November. There is no obligation for you to read it prior to that date. Just if you want an ARC, let me know, and I'm happy to send one through. I signed up for BookFunnel, Ingram Spark, all that stuff. I need to find the size of this book so that I can get in touch with Miblart, which is the cover artist, to make the files correct for the sizing of the book.
So that's another thing. But I think my housemate and I are going to go out for lunch today. There's like a Chinese noodle soup spot that we like, and it's still like cool enough to enjoy soup, but not for much longer. Otherwise, we're just going to watch Jurassic Park, I think the new one. It's got like shit reviews, but I love Jonathan Bailey, and she likes Scarlett Johansson, so it's a win-win for both of us. We watched Ballerina the other night, the latest in the John Wick franchise, and that was okay. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off before that gets super loud because it's coming down the hallway, and I'll catch you in the next update. Good morning, team. Let us end this vlog. It is the 23rd. I didn't do any vlog updates the last couple of days, and last night I got home from work and caught up on the NBA opener. Well, one of them. I like NBA. It's like the only sport that I enjoy watching, and also tennis. But it was my two favorite teams that were in one of the openers yesterday, which is the Golden State Warriors and the Lakers. So that was a fun game to watch. And then I immediately followed that up with watching the NBL, Cairns versus Perth, and it's very different. Australian basketball, even though like the rules they try to mimic the NBA, because a lot of the players in like the Australian league like are gunning for the NBA and like the recruiters, but it's just it's like a much slower paced game. Anyway, it's really funny to watch like the NBA, and then like immediately after switch to the National Basketball League, and it's just a slow-paced game in comparison, and is a lot less showy and flashy. But anyway, I'll do a quick update for the end of this vlog and where I got up to. So I'm about 70, maybe 75% of the way through Exodus. Been reading this very, very slowly. I can't say I'm enjoying it anymore. To say that would be a lie. I'm enjoying it enough. I've committed enough to finishing it. I do not know if I'm going to pick up the second book in this duology, to be completely honest. It's fine. I can see the appeal for people who like the game, who want to tie into the game that is in development. I am trying to enjoy it more by visualizing it as a video game, and that is working because I can see the elements that would absolutely work for a video game world and a video game sort of developer, and like graphics and things like that. And I've seen some stills from the game. I'll try and put a still of the ghost up here, which is one of the things in this book, but like it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I'm very undecided whether I'm going to pick up the second one. If I do, it will purely be on digital, because this thing is so fucking heavy. I ended up buying it on digital anyway, and I'm just reading it pretty slowly. I updated you on the finishing of Haunting of Hill House. I was scrolling through Libby and BorrowBox, and I ended up picking up a Paul Tremblay, who is an author I've been curious about for a little while. The ones that he is most known for is, I think, Head Full of Ghosts and Cabin at the End of the Woods. I've gone with not one of the most known, which is not unusual for me, and I've picked up the Pallbearers Club, which is about a man called Art, or a teenager, 17-year-old, called Art Barbara, and that's not his real name, but we are introduced to him as he's much older. I think he's nearing 50, and he's writing his memoir of his experiences, but we're introduced to him at 17 being quite awkward. He's got scoliosis, which needs to be repaired, so his spine, he goes into surgery and things like that, but he doesn't have a lot of friends. He starts a club called the Pallbearers Club, where they go and volunteer at funeral homes for people who are unknown, so like the elderly or the homeless, and they go and help these funeral homes give them a funeral, which I don't know, it's kind of like warmed my heart that is a thing that could even happen, that volunteers would go. Anyway, I digress. And so he has some experiences with one of the people that come and join this club. Her name in the book is Mercy, not her real name, but the name that is given to her in the book is Mercy, and we're starting to get a little bit more like supernatural elements in there, which I don't tend to love in horror, but I think Paul Tremblay's writing is intriguing enough. The human element is absolutely enough to keep me intrigued, and I blitzed through about 40% of that already, and that was yesterday and this morning on the walk. So I'll finish that one before the end of the month. I am hoping desperately to finish this before the end of the month as well. I think I've got about 300 pages left to go. I've switched to the physical book for now just to try and, I don't know, make my enjoyment more while I've got a couple of days at home, so I can actually pick it up, and then when I'm out and about I can use the ebook. Anyway, so we're going to finish off with some book mail. I ended up buying some books from Aaron N. Hall, who is an author that I've read for previously. He gave me some e-copies of his first series, The Weaveland Chronicles, and I've wanted a signed edition or signed set for a little while. I just couldn't justify the cost because it was about $300 to get these books here. But buying direct, buying them signed, it's obviously quite expensive. I could have gotten them a lot cheaper unsigned because there's a distributor here in Australia, so it would have been like $100, but like I wanted the signed set because, I don't know, he's a cool dude. It's one of the only YA series that I've read as an adult that I've genuinely enjoyed, so I thought I would do it. So we're going to unbox it. But anyway, I did get these unsigned, so I got 2 copies of The Legend of Art. I really enjoyed this. I read this earlier this year. I had a great time with it. Again, YA. Very accessible, very clean. There's some potty humor in here, but it's written for like, I don't know, 10 to 12-year-olds. But I bought 2 copies. One I've gifted to somebody else, and I got a copy for myself. And I'm hoping that when my nephews are old enough and they want to read, I can give them that to have a look at. And then I got this box here from the US, which is why it's so expensive. But yeah, Aaron has really nice handwriting. We're going to open it up and show you the signed copies. Sorry, the very shaky. We don't want that. So we have got book 1, which is for Ordained. So we've got the new covers here. We've got them signed. We've got a nice note in there saying thank you for the support. We've got book 2, which is Purged. And then we have the book that I'm up to, which maybe I can actually read physically. I'm going away in a couple of weeks' time, so maybe I'll take this with me. Awakened. Beautiful flop. Amazing flop. Let's just put those up all together. I have an endorsement on the back of the book. That's me up the top. So we have all of these, and I'm very grateful they're in good condition. They're very floppy, quite pleasant to hold. And yeah, I finally have a copy of them, which is fantastic. But that is the vlog for the month. I'm not sure, I always think these are going to be shorter than they are, and I edit them and they're like 40 minutes long. I'll have to cut them down, but I feel like I didn't update that much this time around. I feel like I'm in a reading slump, but not in a slump in the sense that I'm not reading at all, just what I'm reading very slowly. I'm mainly on audio right now because Exodus is taking up all of my time. My own release is about a month away, so I don't know if the next vlog will be uploading the files to have that, and then after that I need to organize the paperbacks. So there's still a bit to go, and then once the book has released and the paperback has released, my plan is to take a month off and just read for the end of the year. But that being said, I would like to get book 2 drafted and with an editor by the end of next year, so that I can have that released in July of 2027. So I need to start writing it. I've plotted it. I need to start writing it. Anyway, that's the vlog. If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.